The Africa Yoga Project has trained over 40 Kenyan yoga teachers. These young Kenyan leaders now teach free yoga classes in their communities, see their world and be inspired by their voice in our new book, Portraits of Empowerment and Peace. Support our programs in these communities. Purchase the book and learn more about our programs at africayogaproject.org.
Hi, I'm Bo Forbes. I'm a clinical psychologist, yoga teacher, and yoga therapist, and my passion is integrating therapeutics into yoga. Welcome to our yoga practice lab, which is where we take therapeutic concepts and apply them to our direct experience. Today we're talking about the building of awareness as perhaps our most important therapeutic tool. So how does awareness build? When we first start out practicing yoga, we tend to prefer a teacher-guided practice, which makes a lot of sense. Culturally, we also have a preference for the yogic prescription, or 3 poses that help this condition or that issue, or open our hips, or help to heal depression. But the building of awareness requires a living, breathing practice that changes from one day to the next and actually involves a lot more uncertainty than many of us are sometimes comfortable with. So how do we build that awareness? In our yoga practice lab, we actually take a tool and use it everywhere in our practice. We first get a baseline for how we're feeling, and we look at how physically we feel, what our physical energy level is. We look at our emotional tenor. Do we feel a little anxious or depressed? We look at the ease of breath. How deeply are we able to breathe? And we also look at connection to our center, and then physical pain or any other patterns that you track that are significant to you in your practice. Then we actually do the practice or intervention or bit of breath work or even a therapeutic posture. And after we've done that practice, we go back in and get another baseline, same baseline measurements we took before. And we do that with the same tool or intervention many times. And in that way, we start to get a sense of how a certain yogic practice impacts us over time. What is the therapeutic value of that practice? And in this way, our practice becomes healing and therapeutic, but we also begin to build awareness over time. In the beginning of our practice lab, we might have a sense of how, on a very gross level, a whole practice affects us, how we feel, for example, in Shavasana or for a couple of hours after our practice. But after many, many hours with our yoga practice lab, we begin to develop a subtle awareness, a sense of how discrete and smaller interventions impact us. And then we can take the interventions that are most therapeutic and weave them into a practice or add them to the practice that we are attached to. So I want to challenge you over the next 12 months or even longer to begin to develop your own personal yoga practice lab. Thank you for listening.